Today I'm going to be walking you through an exact roadmap to take your signature offer from 0 all the way to the 100K six-figure mark. Wherever you are at right now, however much money you have or haven't made from your signature offer, I'm going to be walking you through the 3 stages you go through and what you should be focusing on in each stage to grow your revenue to take you to building a six-figure offer. Now, we're not talking about a six-figure business here. We're talking about 6 figures from one offer, $100,000 cash coming in from one offer in your business, and exactly how you can get there. I hit the 6-figure mark from my one-to-one coaching program just over a year ago now, and I'm going to share with you exactly the stages that I've gone through, that my clients have gone through, and that you're going to go through as well as you're on the stage towards getting 6 figures from one program. So let's jump in with what those stages are and how you can move through the stages and what you should be focusing on at each stage as well. I am so excited for this video because I feel like not enough people talk about how to really build out one program in your business, not just build out a whole host of different programs and scale with loads of different offers, but actually how can you take one offer and make that really, really successful on its own and actually use that to take you to the 6-figure mark and beyond in your business just from one offer. I have done this for the last few years in my business. 95% of my income from my business has been from one-to-one coaching alone. This one single program has brought in over 6 figures for me, 95% plus of my income. So many of my clients have done the same, and I can really see 3 stages that you go through on that journey to getting to 100K. So 100K lifetime revenue we're talking about. So think about wherever you're at right now from your signature offer, how much have you made total from this? Have you made a few thousand? Have you made a few tens of thousands? Have you already got towards the 6-figure mark? Where are you at right now? And which of these stages do you fit into? Now, if you're already ahead of this stage, do not fear, I will have timestamps in the caption, in the description, sorry. So check out the timestamps there and just fast forward to whatever stage you're at. But if you have multiple offers and you have an offer which hasn't yet made 5K, this perfectly applies for that. So you might want to listen depending on what different offers you have and depending on what stages they're at. But the very first stage is the $0 to $5,000 stage. So this is really your first few clients for this offer. This is getting the offer off the ground in the first place to actually sign you your first few clients. And this is obviously a really important stage because it's kind of what gets the ball rolling. It's what really gets things started. It's what brings in those testimonials and case studies in the first place, so you can kind of get those next clients from there. So this is a really pivotal one, and a lot of people will struggle around this point, and their program will have, maybe signed one, maybe signed a couple clients, but they're really struggling to get it moving. So if you've made less than $5,000 from your coaching program, this is what you want to focus on at this specific stage. So for this first stage, I noticed a lot of mistakes being made. I noticed a lot of people trying to focus on building an audience and thinking, right, I need to have this be scalable when there isn't really anything to scale at this point. Thinking about, okay, I need this big audience. I'm going to need to, have a lot of ideal clients in my audience. Actually, you don't really need this. To get you to the first 5K from this offer, first 5K, first 10K mark, you really just need a few clients from there. You don't need a whole host of people. You kind of just need one handful of people, and it's not crazily complicated to do that. So your best bet there is focusing on depth instead of width. So instead of you focusing on a lot of people, let's focus in on a few people, and how can we really focus on those? How can we get deeper with those specific ideal clients? So this stage, I would really recommend focusing on relationship building and focusing on those one-to-one connections with people, especially if it's a higher ticket offer we're talking about. If it's a course or if it's a lower ticket offer, a little bit different there. But if we're talking about a higher ticket offer and you're looking to get that towards the 5K plus mark, then really what you want to be focusing on here is actually relationship building. And this can very easily take you towards those first few clients and beyond. This was how I really got started, was actually personal inviting people who I'd had connections with, who they'd been talking about what they were struggling with. I felt like I could really help them. So I kind of pitched my offer and said, okay, would you want to talk about working together? I feel like I could really help you here. Here's what I would see us working on together. And we got on a call to just talk about that a little bit more. And they ended up being great fits and we worked together. And some of them I'm continuing working with them now, 3 years later. But that is a really great strategy to actually focus in on your relationships. So instead of feeling like you need to pump out all this content and feeling like I need to be showing up on social media, I need to be posting 20,000 times a week, actually instead, yes, post a little bit, of course, to attract the ideal clients, to nurture them, but actually half of your time should be spent on relationship building in the DMs, nurturing people, having conversations, finding out what your ideal clients are struggling with, finding out how you can help them, finding out, what are the freebies that they would want to see to actually nurture them, and actually just really focusing on those interactions. So really get to know your people in this stage and really connect with them even deeper than you had before. Now, another really great strategy that I would utilize here is actually pitching your offers that make it a really no-brainer yes. This is going to be different depending on who your ideal client is, what it is that you offer exactly, but have a think on what would be a no-brainer, stupidly easy yes for your ideal client. For me, for example, that very much looked like single session intensives of it's easy for me to pitch someone, hey, do you want to get on a single call together? Just kind of try before you buy almost, get a little taste of what it's like to actually work with me. We'll have one call together, just one paid call together, and you can see, do I like her strategies? Do I like her approach? Do I like what she would advise for my business? It's a really, really great way for them to see if they like working with me without feeling like I need to give away a full free coaching session or anything like that. But it's a really easy way to get people in the door and to kind of, prove that I can actually be really helpful for them and prove my worth essentially. So this can be a really great strategy to just show your value and really pitch something which is a no-brainer, easy yes for your ideal client to get those first few people in the door and then upsell them from there to your main program and your longer term program because they've already had a chance to see that you are really good at what you do. Also, you can start getting testimonials, case studies, client results, all of those things as well. So it can really just help that snowball start moving there. Now, the second stage here is where most people are probably going to be at who are watching this right now. And that is the 5K to 50K kind of stage. So that is really taking you from, okay, I've had some clients with this program. I've had a few clients. I know how to sign a client for this program, and making it consistent and getting you more regular clients in your business. So this is a great place to be at, and also it can feel like a little bit of a hard place to be at because typically you've signed some clients, you've seen some success with this program, but you're not actually getting consistent clients. It's probably not as many as you want. You're not anywhere near booked out. You just have some clients for this program, and that can feel like such a sticky spot to be in because you know that what you're doing is working, right? Because some people have signed on, some people are reaching out about it, but we just don't know how to increase those numbers essentially and how to get more people signing up and also more regularly and more consistently as well. So this is really the problem we're trying to solve in that second section here. And a big part of this, and the first thing I want you to do here, is actually just talk about your offers more regularly. So I want you to really be thinking, how often am I actually speaking about these offers currently? Do people really know them very well? And can I just get them more well known? Can I actually speak about these offers a little bit more? And can I build a little bit of a reputation around this, especially if this is your signature offer, if this is something you really want to be selling over the long term, really building up the lifetime value to the six-figure mark for this specific program. Actually thinking about how can I talk about this more? How can I really just get known for this program and just really have this a key part of my marketing? So really challenging yourself to just speak about this more firstly. The second thing I want you to do at this second stage of the 5K to that 50K mark is really utilize the clients you already have had to get your next clients. By this, I mean use the heck out of your testimonials, your screenshots, your social proof, turn these into case studies. Actually share the full picture of what did it look like working with you? Where was someone before? What were their goals coming into working with you? What actually happened after? If you worked together 6 months ago, check in with them. Where are they 6 months after working with you as well? Get the full picture of this case study because you have so much information to share. And I think a lot of the times people at this stage will say, oh, I've only worked with 5 clients in this program. So, I don't really have much to share necessarily. Don't really have many testimonials and screenshots, but that's 5 whole people. That's 5 whole journeys that you can share. And there's so much more information than you think. Firstly, look back through those onboarding forms, when people checked in, for example, screenshots, all of those things. And also, if you have any questions and you have any blanks that you want to fill in, just ask that client, reach out to that person, just say, hey, I'm writing up a case study about our time together, and I'd love to know what were your expectations going in, or how did you find the experience working with me personally? Any of those questions to build a full picture and utilize the heck out of these. Don't feel like you can only just share them once and then never ever again. Take those testimonials that you shared 6 months ago and reshare them again because it's so easy to utilize that momentum then and that kind of snowball we were talking about in the first stage of actually using your past clients and your current clients to help sign your next ones because you can share their results and it's easy for then people to see a real tangible lived example of what it looks like to work with you. Not just you saying, I will help you do those things, but showing how you've actually helped someone do those things. So really, really share those. Cannot emphasize that enough. Utilize those testimonials and case studies because you have enough, whether you've had 1 client or 5 clients, you have enough. It's just about finding more information and getting more creative with the different ways you can share this too. Now, the third thing we want to do here, and I think this is the perfect season to really be introducing this into your business, is getting a little bit more specific with that problem you solve. So typically I'll notice people in that first stage, when they're getting their very first few clients, will be thinking, okay, I can do a lot of things. There's a lot of things I can help with. So the messaging can perhaps feel a little bit more vague. It's a little bit more open to lots of different people. And this stage, the second stage here, is really the perfect opportunity to actually be getting a little bit tighter with that messaging. Really, not necessarily niching down, but just getting a little bit clearer on who you help and the specific problem. You don't need to cut out anything, but just what is the main problem? What is the anchor? What is the key part that you always come back to? The main piece of what you do with your clients. Coming back to that and sharing that messaging over and over again, because what really takes a program to that 6-figure mark is really being known for something and kind of standing out in the industry from other programs. So we're really setting you up here for not just getting you from that 5K to that 50K mark, but also towards that 6-figure mark and beyond as well. So really starting to get known for something and really thinking about what is the key part of what I do? What is the most important problem I solve for my ideal client? And really doubling down on that messaging specifically. And then the final thing you want to be doing in the second stage to take you from 5K in lifetime revenue from your offer to the 50K plus mark is actually thinking about some simple funnels here. So this is specifically for lead generation we want, because I know a lot of people will really look at, okay, how do I build my audience? And then how do I make sales in that first section when we're getting our first few clients? But when it's coming to the second part and we're really wanting to grow this and really expand this past those first few clients, we need to then start thinking about that leads part in the middle of, okay, who is an ideal client? Who actually has raised their hand as being potentially interested in this program? Who is thinking about working with me right now? And it's so helpful, especially for consistency in your income and just creating that feeling of momentum as well as you're going through what can be a kind of tricky stage. Actually seeing who is interested in working with you and actually knowing who those people are, it's pretty fun to know who those people are, right? And also it's just really helpful for you because you know who to engage with, you know what people are looking for, all of those things. So actually thinking about what lead generation things can I put into place. This can look like I have masterclasses regularly. This can look like I have freebies, which I'm promoting regularly. This can look like I have an email sequence set up for people joining my list. Anything which is just going to help to nurture the people who are in your audience and also show you who is a potential lead, show you who is actually interested in working with you so you know who those leads are, you know who your clients of tomorrow are going to be essentially. This is so helpful, and the reason why I say to put it here, again, that's something you're very much going to utilize when you have made 50K plus in your program and you're moving towards the 6-figure mark, but actually thinking about that now and starting to get some of those things in is a really great way to just make this a little bit more consistent for you already, so it's not feeling like a sporadic, every now and then I get a client essentially. So start putting into place some of those lead generation strategies there. If you're wanting to support with exactly what those lead generation strategies could look like for you and how you can actually implement some of these things, make sure you watch until the end of the video because I'm going to be sharing about how we can potentially work together and what that could look like and how I could help you grow your business to that 100K mark from that one single offer. So keep an eye till the end for that. And then the final stage here, stage 3. This is taking you from $50,000 in lifetime revenue from your program to the 6-figure mark. So if you've already made about 50K from your program, but you're wanting to take this to 6 figures and beyond, essentially just really making this a real consistent high income thing in your business. Not just I have signed some clients, not just I'm consistently signing some clients, but I'm consistently booked out in this program. If you're wanting to take your offer to that stage, this is the step for you. So one of the first things I would do at this stage specifically is take a second to do a little analysis and a little look at where your clients have come from so far, because you know how to sign a client. If you've made 50K from your program, congratulations. You've clearly done a really great job of signing clients. People are signing onto your program. We're really just wanting to accelerate this, essentially. We're just wanting to put fuel on this fire. So really actually take a look at what is working already for you. By that, I mean, where have your clients come from? If you make a list of all the clients you've worked with in this program, where did they find you? What was the platform? how did they reach out? Did they come from a specific funnel that you had? Did they come from a specific freebie or a masterclass? What made them sign up for working with you essentially? And you can ask them that question as well. Why did you decide to work with me, to see what they say? Essentially, we're just wanting to gather some information here about, okay, what is working really well for me so I can see what should I be doubling down on, because this is the moment to start doing exactly that. Once you can see what does actually work for you, we want to double and triple down on this. We want to do more of those things. So rather than me give you one specific go and do this strategy, I want you to take a look at what is working for you and just do more of that. If you can see, for example, most people are signing up because of your client results, great, that's a sign we should be sharing even more client results, sharing more of those case studies, posting those testimonials more often, because people are clearly really resonating with them. The second thing to do here is we want to start getting a little bit more streamlined with your content and with your marketing, just to A, make things easier for you, and B, mean that you can actually put out more content and just be showing up in more places, reaching more people, allowing you to then have more ideal clients in your space and sign more clients as a result. So this is a time to really be thinking about that. And by that, I don't want you to just say straight away, okay, I'm going to double the amount of times I'm posting on Instagram each week. I'm going to spend double the amount of time creating content. We don't want to be doing that necessarily. What you can do is actually think about, how can I make this really easy for myself? Firstly, thinking about, again, as we were saying in stage 2, that clear messaging. What is it exactly that you help people with? Going back to that and thinking about how can we write up some of that content and that wording essentially so we can reuse that. I'll utilize this a lot with my one-to-one clients. We have a plug and play content document where they will essentially write out, what is the problem I solve? What is the solution? What is the wording of my ideal client when they talk about what they're struggling with? So we can copy and paste that and just plug and play that every single time we're talking about our offers. So it makes it really, really easy to share wording about the offer, because we're not needing to straight away every single time think again, what am I needing to say? How can I describe this problem? How do I connect with them? What wording do I want to use? We already have that ahead of time planned out. And secondly to this as well, starting to create a content bank and starting to think about how can you make it easier for yourself to actually create some extra content and actually reshare your content and repurpose some of your content, because again, we can see from the stage clearly you're doing a good job of something. People are signing onto your program, people are deciding to work with you, so your content is obviously working. So actually starting to repurpose some of that, save it to a content bank, and in a few months time you can start repurposing 1 post a week, then start repurposing 2 posts a week, to actually mean that you can put out more content, but you're needing to spend less time creating and in front of the laptop as well. And then one of the other things that can be really helpful, which is something you probably haven't done yet if it's a one-to-one program that we're talking about here, for example, is actually creating a sales page for that program and a testimonials page and bringing together case studies into a blog, things like that. Things that are really staple pieces in your business of I create them once and I don't necessarily need to add to them again, but they're so helpful for just adding firstly that feeling of seriousness to your program, because this is a big program right now and we're wanting to expand this, and we're wanting this to be something which is still a really big player in your business and in the industry as a whole in 10 years time. So actually starting to treat it that way and starting to think about, okay, do I want to create a testimonials page on my website? Do I want to create a sales page for this program specifically if I haven't already? Do I want to create a blog full of case studies? Things that are just staple pieces which make it really easy for someone to decide to work with you, because it's really giving them more of the information that they need in a really easy to find way. And just again, adding to that feeling of this being a really big part of your business and a signature program, which it's really turning into at this stage. So there you have it. Those are the exact steps I would take through all of those stages from 0 to the 6-figure mark from your program. So wherever you are at, take those steps for that specific stage, move through those, then go into the next stage and start looking at what the next steps are to take your program all the way to 6 figures in 2025. And if you are wanting to take your business to the next income level this year with your signature program, take that to the 6-figure mark and do it in the simplest and most strategic way possible, my one-to-one coaching program is for you and the doors are officially open. So there is a link in the description where you can schedule a discovery call with me, pick a time that works for you. We'll have a chat to see how I could help you and your specific business, see if we could be a good fit working together and chat about what that could look like essentially. So if you're interested in one-to-one coaching, go to the link in the description below. You can schedule a discovery call. There's also the link to the sales page for one-to-one, so you can see all of the details, you can see all of what it's about, and you can read some testimonials and case studies from my lovely one-to-one clients as well. And now that you've finished this video, make sure you go and watch this video next where I break down how to actually create a content bank, because as I mentioned for that final step, it is so helpful having a bank of your content so you can start repurposing some of the amazing posts you're creating and make it easier for you to actually attract new clients and bring in new clients from your content alone.